Hi, my name is Jake, and I want to talk about what Memorial Day means to me. Right, this is a chance where we get to remember all the men and women who paid that ultimate sacrifice. We're not remembering the fact that they died, but right, the lives that they left behind and great memories they left behind. Like these are my brothers and sisters that died, and I'll never want to forget them. And if it weren't for men and women like this, we wouldn't have the great country that we have. We wouldn't have the ability to come to church on Sundays because it would be outlawed. And we wouldn't even have instances like mine. I actually started a Bible study at Fort Sam Houston, where I went for AIT, and I wouldn't have had the chance to do that had there not been for great men and women who died for this country. What made me end up starting up the Bible study was just the great church family I have here in Aletheia. There was no real push for me to start one, but I didn't want to sit on my hands the whole time I was there. Just going to church and coming back and not doing anything. I wanted to be an active soldier of God. While I was doing the Bible study, there were plenty of cool life changes for several different people. One of them was actually a much older man. He was 47 years old. All right, old enough to be my dad, and his name was Steve Clark. All right, he's been deployed more times than I can count. He's seen stuff that I could never imagine. And I remember this huge hulking figure of a man. When I say huge, I mean huge. He was like 6'13", and that's not even real height. But he was a big man, and you just see him break down crying. And I didn't know what to do. I just put my hand on his shoulders, and all of a sudden he brings me in and starts hugging me. It's like, man, I don't know what to do. And I didn't know what to say. I pray. I said, hey man, let me pray for you, right? Because I can tell, God's really working through your life right now. And I don't know the half of what you've done. I don't know half you've had to do. But I can tell you this right now. God's got a plan for you. And led him to Christ that night. And it was great. I knew that there was a big old party going on in heaven after that. A couple years back, I wasn't living my life for Christ. I mean, I was saved at the age of 17, and I ended up being baptized on the right side of my profession of faith. Then things just started going downhill. I wasn't strongly, planted within my church family. I wasn't being mentored, and I was pretty much the wayward son from the parable of Jesus. And I got tired of it. There was no everlasting joy that came from that, the stuff that I was partaking in. And as I said, I just got tired of it. And I wanted something that was always there for me, because I suffered from a lot of abandonment issues with my biological mother, who was nowhere near around me. She's all the way in Arizona. I suffered from a lot of abuse when I was much younger, and I wanted something that I know that was never going to abandon me, was always going to love me, always going to accept me for the man that I am, which I know I'm a good man, and I know I can always be a lot better than what I am now. And I knew the only answer to that wasn't my dad, wasn't my mom, or even my buddy Tim. It was God. Looking back at my testimony, yes, I've seen some real horrors in life, stuff that no child, no man should ever have to see. I've done things that I should not have done, but there's no point in me lingering onto those memories, because that stuff isn't meant to be an anchor. It's meant to be, yes, it was a cage, but cages can open, and God already did that to me. All I had to do was just step on out, and I don't have to look back at. I don't ever have to go back in there because I don't ever want to go back in there. And I look at some of these other men that I've met, and they've been through so much worse, and I can only just use my story to help them, let them know, hey, this isn't the end, all right? This is nowhere near the end. There's always so much better. Because if you get to the lowest level, all you can do is just go up. Right now, I'm actually fixing to ship off to Fort Campbell, going to 101st Airborne Division, 2nd Brigade, and I don't know what to expect. This is my first time doing the active duty side of the Army, and it'd be really awesome if people can pray for me, for me to continue doing the Lord's work. I don't want to be an idle hand. I don't want to sit back and do nothing. I always want to do something. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to become a medic, because a lot of people are depending on me, and I'm in a big help when it comes to getting them back home alive, getting them to go see their families. And yes, that's great, but sometimes you can't really save them. And if you can't save their physical body, I will save their spiritual body. And I want to be able to continue doing that.